We're back. This is Todd Sylvester for the Todd Sylvester Inspires Belief Cast. Thank you for joining us today. I'd like to thank our sponsor quickly here, Veracity Networks. Thank you for believing in me. And then I'd also like to thank Paul Cardall for that beautiful music. He has given me permission to use his music at the beginning and the ending of our Belief Cast today. So Paul, you're amazing. Thank you for being willing to let me use your beautiful music. It brings such a great feeling to these Belief Casts today. And I also like to thank all the listeners. Thank you for joining us and for sharing. This has taken off, and I just can't believe it. It just blows my mind. But it's not because of me. It's because of the listeners and these amazing guests that I have on. And today is no different. Today we are so grateful to have Rebecca D. Azevedo Overson. Thank you for joining us today,
Happy
Rebecca.
to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can't wait for you guys to hear her story. She's doing a bunch of amazing things in this world. And I'm excited for you guys to hear her story. A little background on Rebecca. She's been practicing the healing arts for more than half of her life, which is great. You're a licensed massage therapist since 1995. Yeah. Like we were just talking about, that's a long time.
When I was a baby.
Right? Yeah. You've helped hundreds of massage therapists across the globe create thriving practices through her 8-week Rock Your Massage Practice Academy. I want to know more about that for sure. And it's a sought-after business and mindset. I said that wrong. And a sought-after business and mindset coach in the massage therapy industry. She has a BA in spiritual psychology, a certified clarity coach, and a board-certified master coach. She is a headlining piano entertainer.
That too.
The list just goes on and on. She's doing all these amazing things. She's passionate. She's an inspired trainer coach who wants to spread the message of, yes, you can heal just about anything. She's a mother. She is peacefully co-parenting with her former spouse, which we're going to talk more about because that's pretty rare, actually, unfortunately.
Rare. Yeah.
But anyway, I could go on, but I want people to hear from you.
And pull at it. What do you want to talk about?
So Rebecca, thank you for joining us. And I think where I'd like to start is just give us some background on where you grew up and maybe, what your childhood was like and, a little bit more about your family.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I was raised in a LDS family. My dad is Lex D. Azevedo, who a lot of people who, if you were LDS and alive in the 60s and 70s and 80s would know him for Saturday's Warrior, My Turn on Earth. He's kind of we jokingly call him the grandfather of Mormon pop music. Okay. Like prior to my dad, it was just the Mormon Tabernacle Choir and hymns. And he was a record producer in Hollywood, and he, in the 60s, and he realized that sex, drugs, rock and roll was kind of the beat of music, and he wanted to create a faith-based genre to support the youth of the LDS church. So love it or hate it, he's the grandfather of Mormon pop music. And really, but truly was an amazing contribution to the culture of music, faith-based music. Saturday's Warrior was a stage play in 1974 in Los Angeles. They outsold Elton John in concert tickets. Yeah, wow. It was huge. Like
that's impressive.
People don't really realize like it was just the first time Mormons had seen themselves depicted in the media. So it was just a huge thing. So I grew up, pretty. That was like the predominant conversation in our household. We went to church every Sunday. We paid our tithing. We fasted once a month. We did service. It was like my parents had 9 kids in 18 years. Wow. Yeah. My mom was 19 and he was 23 when they got married. Wow. And so that was just, growing up was a little chaotic. Sure. 9 kids. Yeah. And then being somewhat in the spotlight. It's a big fish in a little pond, really. If you go ask anybody who's Lex D. Azevedo, they don't know. But, he's a Golden Globe nominated composer. He's had a very diverse musical career. And so gratefully, music was the center of everything in our home, and really instilled a love in me for music and performing and entertaining. My earliest memories as a child were on stage, singing with my siblings, singing with my extended family. It's just like, if you're in a restaurant and it's someone's birthday and you're sitting next to my family, it's going to be like 5-part tight, awesome harmony. And people just be like, can you come sing to my family? Yeah, right. It's just what we love, but very, very religious upbringing. And that was modeled to me. I felt like what I was supposed to want when I grew up was to be a Mormon housewife.
Right.
Was to find a great man who could buy me a house in Draper, Utah, and buy me an Escalade, and I'll have 6 kids and put a roof over my head, and
fit
I
right
would
in.
have an Etsy shop on the side or something. You know what I mean? Like, it was like that was
Right.
kind of what I was going for. And we lived in Southern California. My parents lived in the San Fernando Valley for like 30 years. And then we moved to Salt Lake City in 1986 because my dad's company was here. It was called Embryo Records,
Okay.
and then he sold it later, and then it got acquired by Deseret Book, basically.
Right.
So all the Mormons out there will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're like, yep,
But
we've
it's-
heard this, and
Yeah. So that was just very much the culture that I grew
Right.
up in.
So I would imagine you started playing the piano at a young age as well, and
When I was 7,
7 years old.
begged for piano lessons.
really,
Couldn't get me away from the piano.
yeah,
In fact, one of my piano teachers, when I was about 11, I connected with him on Facebook in the last, 10 years or something. He had these little mini tape recorders of some of my lessons. And
Really?
yeah, isn't that cool? I
Yeah,
know. I
it's
was like,
way
wow.
cool.
And I'm talking and I'm being really sassy and I'm telling him jokes. And then I'd go play my classical piece. And I was like, wow, I do that for a living now. I'm sitting at the piano bench,
yeah,
playing songs, talking, entertaining people. And it was just always in me,
Yeah.
just church choirs, solos. I have accompanied, I've played the piano, I've led choirs, I've sung
Yeah.
solos. all of the things. And I feel fortunate because that gave me a lot of confidence just being in front of people.
Yeah. I was just going to ask
way,
that. Yeah, I was just going to ask that question. You have a lot of energy. You're very passionate. Very confident. I mean, I can feel your energy in this room. You kind of command the room. Is that because of just starting early on, being on stage and learning to overcome certain fears and things like that?
I think so. I've actually never, I tell people now, I have the opposite of stage fright. Like, if there's a stage, I'm like, how can I contribute? How can I share? How can I,
Right.
it's kind of weird because like what's the number one fear that people have in life is like public speaking.
Public speaking, yeah.
And I'm like, put me on the stage. I love it. I feel like,
Yeah.
I get more self-expressed the more people are watching or listening, it feeds, I'm an extreme extrovert and it just feeds me
Yeah.
energy. So yeah, I think there was a lot of that. Just grew up seeing, I just remember seeing my sister Emily and my sister Julie singing like solos in their high school glee choir.
Right.
And I just thought, I could do that. I want to do that. Put me up there.
Yeah. Right.
So maybe it's a little bit of competitive sibling rivalry types of things, but it was
Yeah.
really modeled to me that you can put yourself out there. You can do hard things. You can
Yeah.
do scary things, air quotes, scary things,
Right.
and that, yeah. So kind of feel fortunate that way.
Yeah.
It's helped me a lot in life.
Yeah. Cause I mean, you still perform, you still do those things even to this day, but I would imagine that also helps you in helping others who probably struggle with their confidence. I would imagine that's part of your coaching is helping people believe in themselves and things like
Yeah.
that. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because even though, primarily, so I have 2 things I do, like you mentioned in the intro. One is that I coach massage therapists to build successful private practices because most massage therapists, like anybody in the healing field or any kind of skilled profession, you're great at what you do, but you might have no idea how to run a business, how to market, how to get clients, right?
Right. Sure.
And so massage therapists fit into that category of passionate, skilled, want to help people heal,
Right.
chronic pain, just all of these things, but end up working in spas or franchises or environments that they just kind of like, I feel like I'm just a totally replaceable,
Right,
employee.
yeah.
So much of the benefits that my clients tell me that they get is confidence. They say,
Yeah.
it's really just confidence. It's the confidence that I can go do my dream.
Yeah.
I can do what I love. I can make a difference and I can make a living. And that's, like I said, even going back to my parents, that's what my dad modeled to me.
Yeah.
And to all of us kids, we're all entrepreneurs, all 9 of us. We're all entrepreneurs and
Right.
very, many of us live very visible kind of public lives and are very comfortable doing that. So confidence, I feel like, is huge because if you have a gift to give the world, but you're scared to give it,
Yeah.
or you have limiting beliefs or you have emotional scars or then you're not going to give it. The world's never going to see that.
Yeah.
And to me, I tell my clients all the time, it's, your duty is to shine. That's your duty.
Well,
you have a light inside of you, and you are not doing the world any favors by dimming it, by hiding it.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what I feel like my job is helping people
Sure.
identify their greatness and have the courage to put it out there, because it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary, but so worth it. So sometimes people, I might be a little overconfident in certain scenarios, but that's what my parents' goal was to raise confident children that could go out there and slay, do what they wanted to do in the world.
I love that slay. Go out and slay the world. I love that. Well, let's talk about a time. I'm going to ask you kind of a vulnerable question here, but talk about a time that maybe as a child you were struggling. I mean, maybe it wasn't with confidence, you like you said, hey, put me on the stage, I'm ready to go. But what were maybe some of your struggles growing up that, maybe have benefited you even now because you've overcome those things?
Yeah. I feel like as a child, my life was pretty easy until my senior year. My parents separated, and got divorced, and I moved out with my dad. And I really lost my footing. Like I really did. I feel like there was a period of time where I was kind of ready to launch myself out into the world, like graduate from high school, and I should have gone to college, and I didn't do that till I was like 30 or whatever, but it just, I knew I was going to massage therapy school, when I was 17. I knew I wanted to do that, and then I have my 3 younger siblings that were much younger, so they were very much looked after during the divorce and, separation and all that stuff. And then all my siblings were all out of the house. So I was kind of in this like caught in the middle, like she's not a child, but she's not an adult.
Yeah.
And it was really hard. It was really hard. I feel like I lost my footing for a while and became very codependent. Just kind of thought, well, I can take care of other people.
Right.
I don't know who I am, but I can take care of everyone else, and I'm good at that. Had to since identify and work through layers and layers of codependency. But that was just really, really challenging to feel like I had to. My life was not what I thought it was, and I didn't have the security that I thought I had.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I thought that honestly one of the hardest things was, so when I was 19, I was engaged. So I met this man who was also, oh my goodness, I'm telling this story. Yeah. I met this man.
Pull that mic just a little closer to you.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
He was 10 years my senior. He was like 11. I think he was 30. That was not even a concern. But I guess when you're 19 and you're dating a 30-year-old, your parents are going to kind of be like, what's going on?
They're going to go, excuse me?
Right. And I was especially like super Mormon girl, dating this older, ex-Mormon, whatever. And we got engaged, and my family went crazy. They were just like, there's no way you're going to marry that guy. There's just no way.
Right.
And they intervened hardcore.
Wow.
And I broke up with him, and it wasn't what I wanted to do. It's funny, even to this day, my mom still apologizes for that.
Really?
She's like, we shouldn't have intervened like that. We should have just let you live your life, because what it did for me was it undermined my confidence. It undermined, I don't know what's best for me. I guess other people do.
Oh, interesting.
Like that foundation of just like self-trust when you're going out to just have this adventure in your life and you think the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
And then you have this clan of really powerful people around you. I mean, my siblings are some of the scariest people I know, but some of the awesomest people I know that were just like, it was like shark feed.
Right.
And I just felt like, okay, well, I guess I don't know what's best for me. So I broke up with him, and then 9 months later got married in the temple to a man that, was a good friend.
Yeah.
But it was more like a check in the Mormon checkbox. It was like, oh my gosh, if I'm 21 and not married, there must be something wrong with me. So I'd better go find a nice Mormon boy who went on a mission to marry,
For sure.
So that was obviously just more devastation, because that lasted like a year. We got divorced after a year because I was just an idiot. I hold nothing against him. He's a wonderful human being, but I just was like, very emotionally immature. But it was that slippery slope of like, I want to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But that's apparently got to be run through a committee of about a dozen people.
Right.
So that was truly hard. And especially being LDS and then divorced at age 22, I may as well have had a scarlet letter on my chest.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I had guys that wouldn't date me.
Because
They're like,
knew.
oh, you're not a virgin. I was like, oh my gosh, like,
wow.
Seriously,
Yeah.
or there's like, oh, you've been married and divorced already. Like it was.
So that
hard.
had to play a role in kind of filling on your psyche, like, wow,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. When you already have this feeling of not enoughness or I'm not okay in some way. And then
Right.
it just adds to that, because that again was that was always my goal. I mean, I had aspirations for other careers and things like that.
Yeah.
But somewhere I picked up the idea that it wasn't okay to want what I wanted.
Mm.
I just had to like run the program,
Right. Yeah.
Like I had to find a nice man and get married and in the temple and have babies and like my mom did,
Yeah.
but I'm like, well, that didn't really work out for her.
Yeah.
They got divorced after 28 years and
Really?
9 kids. And
wow.
that was hard, so,
For sure.
so that, yeah, I think that was a real, what's the word I want to use? It was just a rough time in my life, to kind of sort out who am I and what am I doing. And
Yeah.
I didn't know how. I was trying to be a massage therapist and had no idea how to run a business and struggling. And, it was just those some really, really hard years for me.
Yeah.
for
It
sure.
sounds like, so how did you kind of find your way out of that? I mean, you're going through this at that time, very difficult, which makes a lot of sense because I think the pressure, especially here in Utah, there's, like you said, check off the boxes. I'm
Yeah.
going to do this
Yeah.
and then I'm good.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So
Air
now here
quotes
you-
good.
Yeah. So now here you are, you're kind of like feeling like, man, I'm kind of over here by myself almost.
Yeah.
So how did you find your way out of that? And what kind of got you there?
Honestly, I dug even deeper into being a Mormon. I was like going to the temple every week. I was reading my scriptures. I just was like, okay, because I was also at a very young age into a lot of like new age philosophies. I read Conversations with God when I was like 20.
Yeah.
I read, I'm looking at your stack of books here. I had The Power of Now, like some of these
Yeah.
things that a lot of people are like just now discovering.
Yeah.
I was consuming that when I was 21, like
Yeah.
literally
Digging into
more
that
than
stuff.
20 years ago.
Sure.
Because I was a massage therapist and I was very interested in healing.
Yeah.
And so I just gobbled up everything that I could. And I felt like I was mingling the philosophies of men with scripture. And so I just cut it all out. I just cut it all out. And I was like, I'm just going to like work the program so hard and I'm going to heal and I'm going to fix what's broken. I'm going to get a new heart. I'm going to be spiritually born again, And I say that kind of laughing because, I'm no longer active in the LDS faith, but it was a really beautiful time where
Yeah.
I feel like if people will just submit to whatever program they're working, it's going to work for them.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally agree.
I mean, whether that's 12 steps or whether just like, it's like a diet. Any diet will work if you just freaking stick to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that is so true. I work with a lot of clients and I'll say this, like you can go to the worst treatment center on the planet. If you want it, you'll get it.
Exactly.
you
Because
can go to
it's you. It's
Yeah.
the commitment.
And you can go to
inside
the
you.
best treatment center on the planet. And if you don't want it, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You're not getting it.
Exactly.
So I love that you said that because I think people need to hear that.
Yeah.
If you just put in the work, it will work for you.
It's the commitment to change.
Yeah, I
you
love
have to
that.
decide enough is enough.
Yeah.
And I just remember being in the temple one day and just praying my head off. And it was just like, enough's enough. Like, I'm not going to leave until I feel different.
Right.
Otherwise I'm going to drive my car off a cliff. I mean, it was like, I was really distressed. I was really distressed.
Yeah. Wow.
And I just, the best thing was that I turned a lot of those things around. I took on just my own spiritual healing and emotional maturity. And then I met Rob. When I was living I spent a couple years in Washington, D.C. area, in Northern Virginia. I lived with one of my sisters. My dad was like, get out of Utah. Just get out of Utah. You just need
get
to
a fresh
stop
start somewhere.
hunting a husband. Just get out of Utah,
I love that.
And so, I just healed a lot. And then I met
Yeah.
Rob, and Rob was, we got married about a year after we had met. We have 2 beautiful sons together. Our marriage lasted 10 years. We left the church together at the same time,
Right.
about 12 years ago when our second child was born. And, it was just it was a great evolution. And it was just kind of even to this day, he and I are very close. I wouldn't say like best friends, because probably certain things I wouldn't share with Rob that I would share with a best friend.
Yeah.
But we're like siblings.
Right.
We really love and respect each other. We co-parent. We've gone through that, leaving the church kind of thing together. And he's been through subsequent relationships. I've been through subsequent relationships. But we've just, ultimately, we want what's best for our kids.
For sure.
So we pull it together for the
Well,
kids.
we said that in the beginning, how you peacefully co-parent with Rob, right?
Yeah.
Can you, I think this is rare in the sense that a lot of times when there's kids involved in this and that, there's this give and take, and there's this resentments, and there's this angst and anger, and the kids can feel it and see it, and it's hard on everybody, right?
Yeah.
So how did you guys just get together? How did you guys decide, and why did you go this route? Like, let's peacefully do this. Like, how did that happen?
Because I think a lot of our listeners didn't hear that. At first.
Sure. Well, I'm sure it wasn't. Yeah.
It was really awful and messy. And, my heart goes out to anybody going through that process, even as good as it could be when it's amicable.
Yeah.
But I know there's horrible things that happen that just really are so damaging to families. And,
sure.
He was really angry at me for a while and not very nice, and just wanted to take pot shots wherever he could. And he'll even admit to that, and he wouldn't mind me saying that. But we just did not have a good time. And about, I don't know, I want to say a year or two,
mm-hmm.
he might tell it differently, but this is kind of how it sinks into my head.
Okay.
Is that he just realized, like, you know what? If Rebecca's happy, she's going to be a better mom. And why am I trying to chop her down?
Yeah.
She's the mother of my children. If I can behave in a way that makes her life easier, it's going to make life easier for the kids.
Right.
And it was instantaneous. It was like, he called me up one day. He just said, "I'm really sorry. I've been a total, insert cuss word, whatever, and he said, I'm done. I'm done with that. And I want you to be happy. And I want to have a great relationship with you." And we just have ever since.
That's beautiful.
When I got pregnant with my daughter, in 2015,
mm-hmm.
he was one of the first people I told, like, it was like, "Hey, so I got to tell you something. I'm having a baby." It was a hard.
Yeah, sure.
I was, I was not married. I was, it was just this whole other circumstances that were less than ideal, but figured he needed to know.
Yeah.
And we have this rule, like, if we're dating someone, we don't introduce that person to our children unless we've been committedly dating that person for at least 90 days.
Oh,
and then
that's great.
Rob will get to meet that person before that person meets my children. It's like, we have this family dynamic, and I come with a package deal.
Yeah.
I come with Rob, I come with our sons, and I come with my little girl, and a standard poodle. And it's that's what people need to recognize, is that your life will never be the same after a divorce, and it's gonna be hard anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
So come on, just pull it together for the kids.
Yeah.
Nobody benefits from a bloodbath.
No one does.
You can either be right or you can be free, right?
Yeah.
Byron Katie says that.
Yeah.
And you can just be right that this shouldn't have happened, and it shouldn't be this way, and this person should be different, and all these shoulds. It doesn't change the fact that that's another hurting person over there. It just keeps you stuck. Yeah.
Keeps you stuck.
Gratefully.
Well, I love what you said in the beginning, where you, it's like, if Rebecca's happy, she's going to be a better mom.
Yeah.
If I'm happy, I'll be a better dad, right? Rob's saying these things. And so, man, I that is so profound, and it's so simple.
It is
it's
simple.
Like, okay, let's just treat each other with respect, and let's peacefully do this so we can be better parents.
At a basic,
I love it.
And I know people out there have a lot more trauma than he and I had. I know that. I know there's some super, super dysfunctional stuff going on out there, and you can't co-parent with a terrorist. You can't.
Right.
I've been in some less than savory situations too, and and I've made different choices there as well, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like, if you can at least respect that is the father or mother of your children, and your children are half that person.
Yeah.
And whatever fiery darts you spit at that other person, it goes through your children.
Right.
Because the child looks and goes, "Oh, dad's," if the child hears you complaining about their parent, they internalize that.
Right.
They think, "Oh, that's me. Oh, dad struggles with that. I'm going to struggle with that. Oh, mom's that way. Oh, I must be that way." And no parent with a, head and heart wants to intentionally harm their children.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's one of the best things we can do is just love the other person, grant them grace, grant them space,
Right.
make life easy for everybody.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard enough.
Beautifully said. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's important to me.
You know, one of your messages, and we said this in the beginning as well, is yes, you can heal anything or almost anything, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what that message is, and is that part of your coaching where you're trying to help these people like, hey, you can make it through this?
Yeah. So I had this vision a while ago of, I don't know how to say this, but I just had this through the various trainings that and certifications that I've gotten. I realized, you know, because I work primarily with massage therapists. I am one, right? I've been one for 25 years. I'm retired, obviously. I don't practice, but that's been my field. And when I learned about all of the aspects of the mind, I realized, wait a minute, massage therapists are the self-proclaimed, you know, guardians of the mind-body connection, right?
Right.
Oh, even just stress affects your body. You know, like we all know that, but very few of them are actually working with it.
Yeah.
So when I learned hypnotherapy, for example, I was like, oh, hypnotherapy is literally just using your imagination to create your life. Like that's taught in psychocybernetics. That's taught in like so many places. Is the oldest form of healing out there. And I had this vision of what if I could teach massage therapists all of these mind tools. Yeah. And that's why I created I Heal Institute, because massage therapists, so they get great at business and they fill their practices. A lot of them kind of think, well, what else could I do? I want to have an impact beyond my massage table. So I now train them in skills like hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, NLP coaching, and things like that, making change through conversation and language, basically. And I had this vision of this unleashing this army of healers on the planet. People need to know this stuff. The mind is everything. For sure. The mind is everything. And then you get into the conscious mind and the subconscious mind and how our focus determines our results. And so it's just been this beautiful blossoming of this vision that I had, which is that, you know, people don't need to be stuck with, people don't need to stay stuck. You can always move forward. The only thing I've encountered that really can't be healed that I know of, and maybe there's a hope even still out there, is like spinal cord injuries, like real severe ones. Sure. The body seems to not be able to recover once that connection is cut, right? Right. But even I still have hope for that. But can you heal codependency? Absolutely. Can you heal addiction? Absolutely. Can you heal from a broken marriage? Can you heal from a broken childhood? Yes, because your past does not determine your future. Right. And so everything in my whole life has just been about healing and empowering healers and training healers and teaching people how to heal. And of course, working with my own clients. And, but it's just become my vision and my mission the last couple of years that healing is possible, and people just need to know what the resources are. They need to know that there are people, if one person has done it, then you can do it too.
Then you can do it. Yeah.
You know,
love that.
It's just, and I just will bang that drum till the day I die.
Yeah. So why do you love helping people so much?
Well, there's probably, like I said, I am a recovering codependent. So there's a little bit of the compulsive caretaking, right? So I've had to square off with that one.
I love how real you are.
Still working on that with my therapist, like peeling back the layers of that onion. But definitely having much better boundaries and self-care, and I'm including myself in all of the people I, you know, take care of. So that's important. But I don't know what it is, Todd, but ever since I was a child, I could just see who people really are. Like I could see their souls, their spirits, and be able to look past the bullshit that they're presenting or whatever the pain is on the surface. And I just can't not see that when I look at people. Yeah. I see their highest self. I see what's possible for them. I see who they are without their pain and without their story. And I just will hold that highest vision for people until they claim it for themselves. Yeah. I feel like that's my job. That's my purpose for being on this planet, is that people are liberated and empowered and experience awe. Yeah. It's that Marianne Williamson quote that's been on my wall since I was 19 years old, that everybody knows and or a lot of people know, but that piece of it, which is, as as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
Yeah.
As we're liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. So I felt like I owe it to the world and to myself to do my own healing work, to liberate myself so that I can help other people liberate themselves.
Wow.
There's just so much light and so much good in the world.
Yeah.
And so many amazing people out there if they just knew who they were.
Right. Yeah. No, I love that. Thank you,
So,
man. Again,
yeah.
beautifully said. That's so beautiful. You know, I know with your coaching, you talk about how we can create profound change by mastering the language of our mind.
Yeah.
And I know you just kind of touched on that right there. Can you give us a little more detail on what that looks like with your coaching?
Yeah. One of the things I teach, so I'm a board certified trainer of NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. It's what Tony Robbins uses.
Yeah.
When people see Tony work, and how does he just have a conversation with people and they shift, right?
Yeah.
That's really the magic
Yeah.
of NLP, but really that words are everything.
Yeah.
The words we use to label our experiences determine everything in our life.
Mm-hmm.
You and I could look at the same event and label it differently and have a different residual effect of that. For you, it might be the worst thing that ever happened. For me, it might be the best thing that ever happened. And that's going to determine a lot.
Yeah.
So when I say the language of the mind, I like to teach that what people aren't aware of is that there's only 6 things you can do inside your head. There's literally, people don't pay attention to what they're doing in their head. They're just doing it unconsciously.
Just going. Yeah.
You're not aware of what you do inside your head.
Yep.
Pretty much everybody could talk to themselves, right? If I said recite the times tables for 5 in your head, everybody can do that. If I say picture a pineapple, you can do that. If I say imagine how pineapple tastes, and you've tasted one, you could imagine how it tastes. You're not tasting one, but you can recall it in your mind, or you can construct it in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
I could say imagine a pineapple that's pink inside, and you could, even you've never seen one, you could construct that image inside your head.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I teach begins with teaching people how their mind actually works, because everything is projected outward from that.
Yeah.
And you're trying to change the people around you, good luck. You're trying to change the circumstances of the world, good luck.
Good luck, yeah.
Good luck. You're not going to, it's all coming from inside of you regardless.
Sure.
Even though people will argue with that. They'll say, well, I didn't create that, law of attraction BS. I didn't create that terrorist attack. And it's like, well, but you always have a choice of how do you respond to it.
Yeah.
Is it going to close you down? Is it going to open you up? And so the 6 things in your head, is basically all 5 senses. So your visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. So that's technical fancy words for smell and taste. Yeah. And then this other thing is you can talk to yourself.
Yeah.
And the words you use label your external experiences. So the language of the mind is really about, people will unconsciously hold words, pictures, feelings, smells, tastes in their head that kind of encode their external experience.
Right.
I mean, there's, again, the way I see a stage, going back to what we talked before, I see a stage that looks fun to me, that looks exciting to me, especially if there's a piano attached to it. I'm going to be like, get me on that stage. We're going to have some fun. And whereas other people have a whole other, getting laughed when they were in 3rd grade and they forgot their line in the school play.
Yeah.
So it's really about the conversations and images and sights and sounds and all of those things that we hold inside of our head that it determines our emotional state.
Yeah.
All emotional states are preceded by an internal representation. Again, it's not just the words we use. It's pictures and all of those things, all 5 senses inside your head. It determines your emotional state, and it also determines your physiology. I've never seen a joyful person curled up in the fetal position crying on the floor.
Right.
There's a physiology of depression.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So it determines your emotional state, which impacts your actions you take with your body. Your body is a results producing device, right?
Yeah.
And then that kicks out your behavior.
Yeah.
And so that's really important model of looking at how to work with your mind, because if people's behavior is determined by a conscious and unconscious chain of events, like unconscious recipe that goes on, like how do you know it's time to bite your nails? People just bite their nails. They don't think of it. It's completely unconscious.
Yeah, they just do it.
How do you know it's time to yell at your kids? How do you know it's time to feel depressed? Those are all a sequence, a recipe of unconscious A plus B equals C.
Yeah.
And if you change one thing in the recipe, you change everything. Just like if I take my cookie dough mix and I change the moisture and I change, then I can make brownies out of it, or I can make a cake out of it.
Yeah.
If I change the recipe even slightly, I'm going to get a totally different result.
Right.
So when I say helping people produce results by mastering the language of the mind, it's because it's the mind that everything else flows out of. You can't change anything else without changing the lens through which you're projecting everything that you see.
Right.
That sounds a little woo-woo, I'm sure, to some people. But
no, that's spot on, actually.
Again, read anything, psychocybernetics, read, all of these books I'm looking at here, the Power of Now, You Are a Badass, all these things. And they will all go back to that one irrefutable fact, which is, as a man thinketh, so is he.
Yeah. Which that book's right over there, by the way.
That book's
it's
right.
It's the
and
book I have my
that's another
clients
one
read.
I have on my wall too. Life isn't about finding yourself; it's about creating yourself.
Yeah.
So we can absolutely create our futures.
Yeah.
We can absolutely create results that are unprecedented in our lives. The fact that I am no longer depressed. There's a lot we have not covered, but I know I had like severe undiagnosed depression. Was on medication, got off of that, been totally symptom free for years, have recovered from leaving a very predominant faith in my upbringing, going through all of that cultural backlash, married twice and divorced, again, where that's very frowned upon, having a baby girl on my own, co-parenting with and building a very successful worldwide coaching practice, and being totally what I feel like is I'm absolutely living true to my purpose. And very few people can say that. And to look at just the growth that I have achieved over the last 5 years, I just look back and I don't even recognize that person that used to be crying on the floor. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, God bless her. But with these tools, people really are unlimited in what they can create. Yeah. And that's what excites me. That's what gets me out of bed every day, and why I just keep pushing myself to achieve, to have a far further my impact and my influence, is because I want people to learn how to heal themselves. Right. I can't do it for you. Just like you said, any addiction program could be great, but if you're not showing up and you're not doing the work and you're not committed and you're not changing the inner conversations, then you're just going to be always managing it instead of being done with it and put it behind you. Right. And that's very important for me, for people to be aware of. That's what I mean when I say you can heal just about anything. Yeah. Probably anything. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Who am I to say? Yeah, no, I love it. And I don't think it sounds woo-woo or anything. Someone might, I guess, like you said, but this is kind of my world too. And I just love it. The water we swim in, Yeah. And when people, and I think you can probably agree to this, when you see a client finally just truly buy into this, and they start doing it themselves, and you see the growth, you see the change. It's like, this is why I like doing what I'm doing, because I get to see that. I'll tell you, this just popped in my head, so I'm going to honor it. One of my students I do this online event called Creating Your Future. It's a 2-day event. It's not, obviously a lot of my clients attend it. They're massage therapists, but it's open to everybody. Yeah. And one of my students just posted this. We just had it recently. I'm going to see if I can find this screenshot, because this is stunning to people. Right. People say, no way. They really do. They say, no way. You can't do that. But it happens around me all the time. So this is a little bit of the feedback. This is what one of the students said. She said, I can't thank Rebecca enough for giving me the opportunity to heal trauma that I have been dealing with for over 40 years. I have spent years and lots of money in conventional therapy, and in one moment, I was able to release the anger toward my abusers. I have released the sadness of a lost childhood and the innocence of me as a child that was taken from me. I have released the fear and guilt and shame of 2 violent attacks that happened to me in the military. I have dealt with limiting beliefs about myself that were holding me back and growing into my true potential. That was a hard one to let go. I really had to go far in the past to release it. But releasing my fear of abandonment, I felt so free, safe, serene, at peace, like the weight of the world was released from not only my shoulders, but my body. she went and she went on and on about,
it's amazing,
that in a moment, because
Yeah.
to me, healing does happen in a moment.
Yeah.
If you have the right tools, you can absolutely let go of a lifetime of fear, anger, sadness, hurt,
Yeah.
guilt, all of those destructive emotions when you know how to do that. So even just the depression or the divorce, I'm like, guys, you don't have to suffer about that. You don't have to be stuck with that.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily be on medications your whole life. You don't have to. There's just, all of you out there, keep taking your meds, right? I'm not saying that, but if you decide that something is better, if you decide you want to make a change, there are so many options out there.
Right.
To heal it, but you have to be committed to making the change. You have to be coachable, show up and do the work, and you got to also get resourceful.
Yeah.
Because it's probably not going to find you. You're going to have to dig and dig and dig and dig
Right.
to find the stuff that people aren't telling you about that are going to make the biggest difference in your healing.
What's what you said earlier? If you put in the work, it's going to work.
Yeah.
I'll have parents will ask me, "Hey, what's your success rate?" And I'll say 100%. And they look at me and they go, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, 100%. If they put in the work, they'll get this."
Yep.
0% if they don't.
Exactly.
Because it's not me. It's going to be
them.
the client, right?
It's
So,
them, yep.
but no, I love what you're saying. Like I'm giving me like goosebumps. And what a beautiful message, right? I mean, that's got to be like, wow. Right?
It surprises me, and it also doesn't surprise me because I just know I've just declared over and over again around me, miracles happen.
Yeah.
Like I move people. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And grateful to have gotten connected to that at a very young age and to just keep expanding that and expanding that as I get older. I love it. I love it so much. And to see people liberate themselves from what's holding them back.
For sure.
It's just, I was a birth doula. I don't know if you knew that. I owned a prenatal massage clinic for 9 years here in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Did not know that.
And I've helped a lot of women and their partners give birth. And it's just, to me, I cried at every birth.
Yeah.
Every single time I see a baby emerge, it's just like, oh my gosh, like
know,
how does that even
amazing.
happen? It's a miracle. And that's now how I feel when I coach people through these processes, or I just teach them the tools and then they do it themselves.
Yeah.
It's like watching babies get born all the time.
Yeah.
And it's that rebirth I feel like is so powerful for people to claim their greatness. And then it puts them on a totally different path.
Yeah.
Where they go out and help other people to heal. That's my vision, right? Is this army of healers, just a healer in every home, that people know how to move mountains and heal wounds that seem to be unhealable.
Well, one of the things I say a lot too to my clients, that adversity or addiction, depending on who I'm sitting with, is the wake up call to your greatness.
100%.
And as I sit here listening to your story, and I know we've a sliver of your story is what we've been talking about, but looking what you've been through and what you're doing today, truly that just, there it is. You went through all of this stuff to wake you up to your greatness, and all this stuff you're doing and being, like you said, a light to people and to this world. It's beautiful.
It's what it's about. I feel like, what else are we doing if not that?
Exactly.
It's just, literally looking on your office, I have all the same, like, you're powerful beyond measure. You are a masterful creator. Like, just that's, I feel like people do have to sometimes go through that dark night of the soul.
Yeah.
And it's that deep forgetting of who they are that puts them into addiction or struggle or different situations, because they're not, sometimes that's a really powerful catalyst for change.
Yeah.
And sometimes people have to go so deep into the depths of their pain in order to discover the commitment to change.
For sure.
That this is rock bottom and there's only one way up.
Yeah.
And
it's a good
an ongoing
foundation
process.
to build from, right?
Absolutely. It's like, well, it can't get any worse.
Right.
So that's good.
Yeah.
And just to keep moving forward. But that being said, I've also found that no matter what I achieve, that's not the right word, but whatever we accomplish, it's like growth is ongoing. Growth is eternal.
Yeah.
It's, my mom has this magnet on her fridge that says, no one's ever got it all together. That's like trying to eat once and for all. Like, that is so true.
That is true.
It's just having a constant commitment to growth and awareness. No matter what level you're at, there's always a next level. So it's not about arriving. It's about loving the process, loving the process of growth and self-discovery and empowerment and awakening, whatever that looks like. That's, to me, what my life has been about and will continue to be about.
Yeah, man, I love your passion. This is awesome. Seriously, I can just, I know
Life's
the
good.
listeners are feeling this too. Well, if there's someone right now listening to your story and they're struggling, they're kind of in a dark place right now, and they feel maybe at times hopeless. You've already given some amazing advice, and you've talked about some powerful principles. What could you tell someone right now who is sitting there going, man, I don't know. I'm struggling.
Yeah. Number one is, of course, you got to know it just gets better. You have to believe in a better future.
Yeah.
You have to have even just a little tiny glimmer of hope to keep you moving forward. And I know how dark it can be. I really know how dark it can be for myself.
Right.
My own moments where I just wanted to be 6 feet under.
Yeah.
But on a practical level, the first thing that has to happen is you have to decide and commit to change.
Yeah.
No one's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
It literally has to be the awakening of the lion or lioness inside of you that roars and says, no more. I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I will leave no stone unturned. That you are absolutely committed to freedom from whatever it is that has you in bondage, because that's going to be that's the combustion. That's got to be the engine inside. That's the catalyst for change. No one can do it for you. Just like I would always tell, when I was birthing my first child, I did home births, and my mom was there helping me with my first baby.
Okay.
And as I was about to start pushing, I just looked at her. I think I was in the middle of pushing or something. I pushed for like an hour. And I looked at her. I said, Mom, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Like, I can't do this. Yeah. I felt like I was going to split open from my chin to my tail. Like the pressure, the pain, the agony. I've been in labor for a day. It was just like that agonizing thing. I just looked at her. I said, I'm going to die. And she said, sweetheart, you are going to die. Not literally. But you got to let go. You're giving, I was like, what is even happening? What is the point of all of this that I'm feeling? She says, you're giving birth to a child. Okay, reality check, because women in labor can be a little bit,
Sure,
it's truly an altered state of consciousness.
Oh, I bet.
And so she said, well, you're giving birth to your baby, and you're also giving birth to yourself as a mother. Like this new identity. It's like the butterfly coming out of the cocoon.
Yeah, right.
Life is just a whole cycle of death and birth and cocoons and butterflies,
Yeah.
So I think that's the reminder. When you're in that deep, deep pain, that's the caterpillar. You're in the cocoon.
Yeah.
You got to let go and turn into DNA soup and let those imaginal discs kick in, and let that deep blueprint of your God or goddessness, your ultimate power, just surrender to that and just decide, okay, there's no way out except through this.
Yeah.
And that was the mantra of all my moms in labor. And when my mom was coaching me, the only way through this labor and through this birth is through it. There's no shortcuts. You just got to surrender to it. Let go. Let the baby out. Let your body do the work. So surrendering to that process, I think, will be so much more powerful than fighting it.
Yeah.
Because if you fight it, it creates more tension and more pain.
Yeah.
Let go. You're good. Or surround yourself with people that love you. Surround yourself with people that are positive. Read books. Take courses. Just decide that you're worth it, and invest in yourself, because your old tools obviously aren't working. You got to get some new tools.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Love it.
that's.
No, that's great advice. I love
that's
it.
my 5 cents worth.
No, that's beautiful. No, thank you. That's remarkable. Make that decision, folks. Like, honestly, make that decision to make a change. And a lot of times we need help. So, reach out to Rebecca. So tell us, how would someone do that? Where can they find you? What's your website? And how?
For massage therapists out there, it's rockyourmassagepractice.com. But everybody else, it's ihealinstitute.com. And I have my courses and trainings. I love to train people in hypnotherapy for self self-healing.
For self-healing,
Yeah.
right.
So I do this really great online 3-day course. And then my very, very favorite course is the Creating Your Future seminar, which is 2 days. We're currently doing them on Zoom. Of course, right?
Of course,
but
sure.
But still so powerful. And that's where I walk people through how their mind works and how their focus creates their results. And then I teach a really powerful, we walk people through a process of letting go without ever having to revisit your trauma or ever having to talk about it, to let go of all of your anger, all of your sadness. There's 5 negative emotions we let go of as a group. It takes seriously less than 7 minutes. It's an amazing process.
Yeah.
And why I became a trainer of these tools was because I just saw myself doing that in a stadium of 40,000 people. I mean, can you imagine what the world would be like if everybody could literally just let go of all their negative emotions and start kind of fresh? So that's, what I offer, is those trainings. I do very little one-on-one coaching anymore because I just want to train coaches. I want to train healers.
For sure.
So that's all available at my website, ihealinstitute.com. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming here today. You're
pleasure.
amazing. Really, I love your passion, your energy, your light, all of it. It's amazing. It really is. I love your shirt. It says, "I believe in you."
I made it.
Yeah.
I made this shirt. I believe in you.
But again, you really do. You have a great energy about you. And I think that's, it's on purpose.
Thank you.
If that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So I can't thank you enough for taking some time, and I hope our listeners will reach out to you and check out these courses and get involved that way, especially if you're struggling. I mean, here's the answer, folks. We got a path laid out.
We got tools.
Right? Here's the tool.
That work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
You're awesome. Well, there you go, folks. I told you, another amazing guest today, Rebecca D. Azevedo Overson. Please reach out to her. Her website, again, is ihealinstitute.com. She's got these courses she just mentioned. Please check them out and join one of them. I mean, if you really want to change your life, this is a great opportunity. And I know there's people listening right now that need this. So thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Again, thank you, Paul Cardall, for your beautiful music. And thank you, Veracity Networks, for believing in me as well. So until next time, again, thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you.